Yo, yo, y'all already know who it is. It's the last second dose. What are we doing the most? We just got a quick little show real quick. We're here to discuss why I believe Aiden Hutchinson will not win Defensive Rookie of the Year. Okay. And I had to bring my guy. You already know I got mixed stats. That man, Dose. What's up, baby?
Yeah, man. Man, I'm excited. I want to hear this. First time, man. I want to hear it. Yeah, break it down, man. Let me know.
Ready? We've never talked about this, folks. So this is about to be just right here, live. It is what it is. So, Dose, you are a fan of PFF, right? You tend to throw their stats out a lot and things like that.
With PFF. I mean, I occasionally I'm not the PFF guy, but
Okay. I just want to establish that you are a PFF guy, and you are. So are you yes or no?
I mean, look, I work for some other guys that aren't PFF, but I like the
PFF. Okay. All right, I get it. I just want to set the tone, and then I'm gonna just name a couple names who I think could win Defensive Player of the Year over Hutch, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why I think Hutch will lose it. Also, you know what I mean? So, I'm gonna start with Tariq Woolen, rookie corner, Seattle Seahawks. He's got 6 interceptions. He's been playing astounding. Their team may make the playoffs. I hope not, but they may make the playoffs. And he also has a defensive touchdown. He's had some lockdown coverage this year. And I just think it's probably a little bit more of a sexier pick than Hutch. Okay. Now I'm going to get to, I think, who's the better corner. And everybody knows this. It's Sauce Gardner. Sauce Gardner, I believe, he is the best corner in the NFL to PFF. He's the highest graded rookie and NFL cornerback. He has the highest grade. Okay. 3 interceptions. And I was trying to look. I don't think he's given up a defensive touchdown, but they said T. Higgins did get one on him. But he tried, he went out and disputed it and things like that because it was a blown coverage. It wasn't on him. So the guy hasn't given up. I'm going to go with Sauce and say he hasn't given up an NFL touchdown yet. Another cornerback, sexier pick. I think he's going to get it. Now, the reasons why Aiden Hutchinson, I don't think is going to get it because he doesn't even lead the Detroit Lions, our team, in sacks. You do know this,
for first, right? He's tied for first.
No, there's no
He's
tie.
He's not tied for first.
He's not. James Houston has him. Houston has him by 8. Houston has 8. What does Hutchinson have?
7.5 according to PFR.
I feel like you have to lead your team in sacks in order to get it. I think Hutch has played some great football for us. I think he's a huge addition. He shows up on rundowns. He has his tackles for losses. He does have those 3 interceptions. One was kind of a gimme, which was last week against the Bears. I thought he did good, but I mean, that's just a stat pattern right there. But he's had some key plays for us. And if we don't make the playoffs, I don't think he gets Defensive Rookie of the Year. I really don't. I think they're going to give it to Sauce because he is graded out as the best corner in the NFL. And Aiden Hutchinson isn't graded as the best defensive end in the NFL, say PFF. And he also doesn't even lead his team in sacks. So he's not even leading rookies in sacks. At this point, James Houston is leading in sacks for all rookies.
Okay.
That is why he will not win Defensive Rookie of the Year. Y'all can be mad. Y'all can hate me. But I think it's going to go to Sauce Gardner. He is rated the best cornerback in the NFL. He's the best at his position as a rookie. We can't say that for Aiden Hutchinson. I think he's having an astounding year. He's having a great year for us. Love the guy. I think he's a great blue chip hard worker player. I just think he will not win Defensive Player of the Year, even though he's got the 3 picks and the 7.5 sacks. Only way he could flip that is if he finishes with 10 sacks. Sue did it his rookie year. He had 10 sacks, 1 INT, and things like that. But I think if Hutchinson can get to 10 sacks, that's the only way I see him winning Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Okay, quick question. Are you saying this is who you think, or are you saying, and are you also saying that you think Sauce should win the Defensive Rookie of the Year?
I think Sauce will win Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Do you think he should win it?
If Aiden Hutchinson doesn't finish with 10 sacks, yes, he should. Okay. I think Sauce should because up until this point, he is rated the best corner in the NFL. He's the best at his position. Aiden Hutchinson is not the best at his position. And to do that as a rookie, I think you deserve an accolade.
Okay, so here's what's interesting about this, and I don't disagree with you because I think the main point you made there is probably right. The stats, the easy stats are what's probably gonna the rule of the day here, right? That's why Tariq Woolen's probably in the position he's in, and that's I
Yeah.
don't think you believe that he'll win it. I would
No,
not put him above Hutchinson in this. Like if I was
I
ranking
wouldn't.
them,
I wouldn't.
absolutely. He has 6 interceptions. Hey, Amani had 6 interceptions last year, right? Not, but my point is yeah, that kind of thing gets you in that spot. So I look at Sauce Gardner, and really, when you look at all even the advanced stats, it's hard to argue against the fact that he probably will win this award. Now, with that though, to your point, the Jets, they're not going to make the playoffs. All right, we know they're eliminated, so just throw that in there. However,
You're right.
you're
You're
going
right.
mainly off PFF here, right? You're just going mainly off that grade, but really all the numbers back it up wherever you look. Like even our guys, Sports Info Solutions, they got him with 68 targets, allowing 30 receptions,
Mm.
348 yards allowed on over 1,000 yards targeted. That's the most in the NFL. So that's crazy. His numbers are all there. He has a couple interceptions, so that doesn't stand out. And like you said, PFF grades him extremely well. I want to make a couple little points here against Sauce. Not to say that Sauce shouldn't or that he won't win it, because at this point, it probably feels like Sauce is going to win this. If I had to bet right now, I'd say Sauce wins it. But a couple
Okay.
small points. Just first off, I think it's an important situation. We know cornerback. All right, first off, thing I give him big time credit for is cornerback's usually hard to adjust, and he's already balling out. But with that defense that he's on, I think it's important that they do have maybe the best run defense in football. All right. They have the second best run stop rate in football. That defense is loaded. They get top 10 pressure in the league. They don't blitz at all. They're the least amount of, they blitz less than anybody in the NFL, and they get tons of pressure. So the entire defense is loaded, and we know that impacts him directly. You see Reed on the other side, who's a good corner, but he's also playing really well.
Mm-hmm.
Now to Hutchinson's side, because they're all dependent on each other. To Hutchinson's side, what he's done this season, I didn't know James Houston was counted officially for 8 sacks. I think Hutch finishes with more sacks by this last game because he's going to get a couple
I don't
on
know.
Rodgers. But let me hit you with some advanced stats here, though, just to kind of get you thinking a little bit. All right.
Please.
First off, I'll start with SIS and their stats. They have him with 12th in the NFL in hurries. In the NFL, that's above your boy, Hassan Reddick. That's above Matthew Judon. 12th in the league, man. Also, keep in mind he's played 85% of the defensive snaps. This guy has played every single game to this point, which I think matters. I think Sauce also has, but I'll throw that out there. 20th in pressures, so top 20 in pressures. He's also drawn 3 holding penalties this season. You look at another statistics site, they have him 6th in the NFL in pressures. They have him 22nd in solo tackles. They have him 21st in run stuffs. So you're right. This is amongst the entire NFL. So obviously he's not the top in all of those categories, but we know you could flip it and say, okay, well, how about his back end though? Now, how much has he improved since his back end's just gotten a little bit better, right? What was he dealing with back end? Arguably the worst secondary in football. That's gotten better since they've gotten Jerry back. Still not good, but worst secondary in football for a very long time there. And trying to get sacks with that is not going to be easy. So I think you can kind of flip it around for Aiden Hutchinson and look at it that way. And then also the run defensive stats, which, we see it. That's like one of the biggest impacts, but that won't win you. To me, that won't win you the award. Like, I'm good at run defense. Unless you have like a crazy amount of solo tackle, you're not going to get looked at for that because no one cares.
Not
it's
as sexy.
flashy.
Not as sexy. Right.
Yeah, and a lot of it doesn't even show up in stats. Like he'll have a game where he doesn't have a tackle. And I think a small point to this is, being that he is the position that he is at edge rusher, going back to last year in college, right? Georgia, you can kind of game plan the dude out of the game if he's the main guy. For us, for a lot of this season, it's been John Kaminsky opposite, who's been pretty darn good. But we've had a lot of in and outs there. Charles Harris, Kaminsky, now Romeo's back. So we've had a lot of moving pieces opposite. But we've had games like Minnesota this season where he couldn't really do anything. They almost took him out of the game impact-wise. But when you can't take him out of the game, when he is in the game, we know how dominant he's been, and he's obviously not won games for us, but he's made like the big plays. Like last time we played Minnesota, he was crazy. The first game against Chicago on the road, you could argue he sealed that game for us, had the big goal line stop as well. So I think it's hard to argue against Sauce, to your point. Now, the numbers, all right, if he is now second in sacks, that's news to me. But to your point, 3 interceptions, that means something because that is the first rookie in history to have 5 sacks and 3 picks.
It does.
More picks than Sauce Gardner for an edge rusher. Now, you're right. The last one was fake.
I get it.
I haven't seen all Sauce Gardner's interceptions. So how do I know, or not Sauce's, like Tariq Woolen's? How do I know he doesn't have a whack one in there?
like
You know what I'm
Amani
saying?
type interceptions. I get what you're saying.
And I'm assuming he
do.
does. How they play.
I do.
I don't want to spend time on Tariq Woolen because I know he's not in this. Tariq Woolen's not in this.
Right.
He fits perfectly that defense, but he's not the defensive rookie of the year. I think the first game he had a pick, maybe been against us, the pick 6 he had on Goff. Since then, he's had a couple of interceptions. Yeah, it's hard to argue against Sauce in this spot because of all the advanced stats and because also their defense is so good. Like if this defense was really good, Hutch stats would be better. And he would also get more attention because he's kind of the main guy on this defense. He's the big name. But because our defense is so bad and as a whole, it really hasn't improved. The only little areas you could say it's improved is the pressure's been similarly pretty bad. But where you could say it's improved as a team is run defense on first and second downs has improved efficiently. We've gotten to like middle of the pack run defense. Versus last year, we were one of the worst. One more stat. I got to hit you with this because this was how bad it was last year. Last year on first down, we had the second most rushing attempts against us. On second down, we had the second most rushing attempts against us. And on both of those downs, we were in the mid to bottom 20s on efficiency on those downs against the run. This year now on first down run defense, we're middle of the pack. Second down run defense is still pretty bad. So it's improved slightly, but that kind of thing's not going to win him defensive rookie.
That's not going to show up.
So I agree with you.
That ain't
going to do
You
it.
agree with me.
It ain't going to.
It's Sauce.
I think he's
You just said it.
I do.
You just said it. No, this is why I wanted you to come on with me, Mixed Stacks. Yeah, who do you think? Go.
I would give it to Hutch. I would give it to Hutch. But
you know what?
In doing that, it's almost impossible because there's so many factors that go into it, right? It's almost like any position. Like if I took my quarterback and put him in, let's just say Goff last year. Goff didn't get looked at well last year, but his situation was bad. This year looks better. If I put Sauce in a defense that's loaded around him, best defense against the run, they're forced to pass. They get crazy. They get great pressure. They don't blitz. Like you do all those things. Jermaine Johnson is playing well in limited snaps. You flip to our side, we're so bad around it. It's like, well, obviously it's going to be difficult for him to stand out that much. But I think Sauce wins it.
I agree.
And I'm not mad if he does. I think he's earned it.
Because he is the best rated corner in the NFL. Rookies, veterans, don't matter. Cousins. He's the best. I would love Hutch to win it. I just know it's not going to happen. I appreciate your mixed stats. I knew you was about to come in with those next level stats. That's why you my guy. I knew it. But, folks, this is the reason why Aiden Hutchinson will not win Defensive Rookie of the Year. And we out, y'all. Be easy.